It's week 4 of the NFL, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Jaguars and the reigning Super Bowl champs on Thursday night primetime.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Although a jet sweep to start the drive. And that's not the start that he was looking for as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you come around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Lawrence to throw. Throw left side, going to be caught by Shenault. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up the 3rd down. Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. On 4th down on his Logan Cook to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And here are the Browns for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. The numbers for Njoku from a week ago, 14 catches, 95 yards, and a score. And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open. On 1st and 10, Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now it's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gay knocks this one through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one. But now playing here on Thursday night, do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they...
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll run it. This is James Robinson. Well, this defense for the Browns, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Well, we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. There's another one complete to Shenault. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Lawrence. He'll drop this one off with ETN.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. Instead, it's 4th down. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Watson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is in this situation.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
On 2nd down, a run with ETN. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Now Lawrence. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. The coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And a a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Nothing after one on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
They've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Watson looks to throw again.
That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 33. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Foyesade American. And the Jags will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run on first down. Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Here we go, here we go. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap and again to ETN.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. David Njoku and the rest of the offense heading back out onto the field. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Here we go. A big play that time for Cleveland. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
And that throw traveling at even 64 yards in the air. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. To return, here's Agnew. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Travis Etienne of the Jags offense set to take over again here. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people. Find some other playmakers.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, it's Robinson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's Jones on the return. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. To return, here's Agnew. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And the Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. On first down, Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. He'll get that underneath Etienne. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Unbelievable. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Lawrence to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Now Lawrence. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. In the early window, lots of good matchups to choose from. We'll highlight the game in Detroit. A big one for the Lions, as they'll square off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Then, in the afternoon window, all eyes will be on Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it'll be the Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills. And finally, Sunday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Baltimore Ravens and the LA Rams. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And his throw is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To the air yet again. Watson.
Throw left side. There's Schwartz with it.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
A give. This is Chubb. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Chubb will have the first down and much more. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, it is has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. To return, here's Agnew.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Finds his tight end Ingram. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. He targets Ingram for another grab. Options galore here, second and a few inches.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Guys had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
And I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run here with Robinson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Here's Lawrence.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So they wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Boswell's kick is good. And that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down. On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now Lawrence. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 24, Watson. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
Watson on first down. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. A shotgun snap for Watson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson able to bust through the tackle, but not much to show for it. Still inside the 5. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
That's going to be caught. It's Chenault.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Lawrence will throw.
Staying on his feet. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne.
And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
To throw again on 2nd down, Lawrence. Wide open receiver, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 31.
Lawrence.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. back to throw. Lawrence. And that almost their first INT of the ballgame. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They do get 9. That leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And again, it's Chubb. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Watson going deep downfield for Ross. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. A big play that time for Cleveland.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here's Chubb on the read option.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Gay's kick is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work.
What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
A play fake for Robinson. Now Lawrence.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play for the Jaguars. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. To try again after the sack. Lawrence over the middle. He's got Chenault. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it will still lead to a 4th down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Cleveland offense making their way out. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They begin this drive with Chubb. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Browns, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.